Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Snowbeck. Today we're going to do Unit 6, Lesson 4, and we're going to start out with a little bit of review of what we did last time. So I'm going to have you think about this. SOHCAHTOA. And remember, SOHCAHTOA stands for sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So I want you to use these three ratios and pause the video and see if you can do numbers 1 through 6 where you write the answers as a fraction and a decimal, just like we did last time. Okay, sine J. So sine, remember, is opposite over hypotenuse. And I can see that right here. Opposite over hypotenuse. Think about SOHCAHTOA. So opposite is 4, hypotenuse is 5, because it's across from the 90. 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. Now we need to do the cosine of J. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent means right next to, so remember that's the 3, and the hypotenuse is still 5. Divide 3 by 5 and you get 0.6. And tangent of J, that's opposite over adjacent. So opposite is 4, adjacent is 3. 4 divided by 3 is 1.3 repeating. Okay, so if you had trouble with those, pause the video again and now try 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so for number 2, I'm going to do the sine of L. So this time I have to go to angle L. And remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite of L is 3. So this is 3 over 5, which is 0.6. Then I have to do cosine. Remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is the 4. So hypotenuse is 5, so it's 4 over 5, which is 0.8. And then lastly, tangent of L. Tangent is opposite. This is opposite over adjacent. So opposite of L is 3. Adjacent to L is 4. That is 0.75. You might be thinking, where in the world would I ever use trigonometry in real life? So here we go. We're going to start some real life examples. One thing you have to do is you have to have a regular calculator. If you use your phone calculator, it will work, but sometimes it's kind of goofy. You have to type things in like in reverse order and things like that. It's much more difficult. If you have a regular calculator, I recommend the TI-30X2S. This is the calculator that you probably used in algebra last year and the year before that. You don't need a new calculator. Your same calculator will work. But what you should see on the screen in really teeny letters is a little teeny letters DEG, which means it's in degree mode. So that's really important. Whatever calculator you're using, it has to be in degree mode or this won't work. Okay, number 7. A fitness trainer sets the incline on a treadmill to 7 degrees. The walking surface is 5 feet long. Approximately how many inches did the trainer raise the end of the treadmill from the floor? So let's say you're in, maybe you're in Mr. Meyer's Fitness for Life class, and today you're on the treadmill. So here you are, you're on the treadmill, you're working it. Whew, you're sweating. Yeah, running fast. And since you're in pretty good shape, Mr. Meyer says, we're going to put you on the incline. So he cranks it up 7 degrees, so you have to work a little harder. We want to figure out how far off the ground is the other end of the treadmill, or in other words, what's y. So here's what you do. You take a look at your drawing, and 2 of the sides have writing on them. So based off of the 7-degree angle, what side is the y? Well, it's opposite of your 7-degree angle. The 5 is the hypotenuse. Those are the 2 sides we're working with. We're working with opposite and hypotenuse. So now you have to think about SOHCAHTOA. And you want to pick one of these to use. You're going to pick the one that has the O and the H. O and the H are with so. So the S stands for sine. So sine, you always start with the function, which in this case is going to be the S, so sine. And then it's opposite on top and hypotenuse on bottom. So we're going to go opposite, sine of 7 equals opposite on top, so y, and hypotenuse on the bottom, so 5. And that's your equation, sine 7 equals y over 5. Now to solve this, we multiply both sides by 5. These 5's cancel. So you have y equals 5 sine 7. But you have to type this in your calculator. So everyone, grab your calculator. If you need to pause the video and go get it, do that. Then you're going to type in 5 sine 7. Hopefully your calculator's in the degree mode. If it's in the correct mode, you will get 6.09. And that's going to be feet. Go ahead, try typing it in. If you need to, pause the video. Now lastly, they want our answer. It says how many inches did the trainer raise it? So we have to do this. We have to do 0.609 times 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. And 0.609 times 12 is approximately 7.3 inches. And that is our final answer. Let's try another one. So here we have a picture of a right triangle. We know one of the angles, well, we actually know two of the angles, and two of the sides. We're going to deal with the angle that's not 90. Never use the 90-degree angle. Figure out what two sides have writing on them. The x is opposite of the 25. The 18 is adjacent. The reason I know that is because the hypotenuse is the other side across from the 90, and I know 18 is not the hypotenuse. Now you have to think about so, ka, toa. And you want to pick the one that has the O and the A. So the O and the A, you can see they're part of toa. T stands for tangent, so you write down tangent. Next, you write the angle, 25. Never use the 90. So tangent 25 equals, remember, the opposite goes on top and the adjacent goes on bottom. So opposite is x, adjacent is 18. Let me erase that so it's just out of the way. All right, then you have to solve it for x. So you're going to go times 18 times 18. These cancel out. Now you grab your calculator. You type in 18 tangent 25. And x should be about 8.39. And that is your answer. Number 9. The bottom of a handicap ramp is 15 feet from the entrance of a building. If the angle of the ramp is 4.8 degrees, about how high does the ramp rise off the ground? That's what we want to find is over here. How high up off the ground does it rise? Start with your angle that's not 90. In this case, it's 4.8. Figure out what two sides you have. Now, according to this angle, the 15 is the adjacent side. The x is the opposite side. Now think about so, ka, toa. If any of you know Mr. Winters, he taught me to write it like this. That way you remember what goes on the top and what goes on the bottom. So you need the one with the O and the A. O and A go with toa. T. T stands for tangent. So tangent of, you put in the angle, 4.8, equals, and then remember, opposite over adjacent, x over 15. Multiply both sides by 15. These cancel. Type this in your calculator. 15 tan 4.8. X is 1.26, and it would be feet, because I see feet up here at the top. So feet. Okay, this time I want you to try it. So why don't you pause the video and see if you can set up the equation, work all the way through number 10, and then unpause the video. So here's your angle. 12 is the hypotenuse because it's across from the 90. X is opposite because it's opposite of our angle. Think about SOHCAHTOA. And you want the one with the O and the H. That's so. S stands for sine. So you go sine of 15. It always follows with the angle next. Equals x over 12. Opposite over hypotenuse. Multiply by 12. And now type it in your calculator. You should get x equals 3.1. I guess I would round it to 1 because there's a 5 back there. So 3.11. It's 3.1058, but you round it. I'm going to have you try another one. Pause the video, try number 11. Here's your angle. X is adjacent, 30 is hypotenuse. Think about SOHCAHTOA. Choose the one with the A and the H. Cosine, the C. So you go cosine equals 54, or cosine of 54, excuse me, equals adjacent over hypotenuse, x over 30. Multiply both sides by 30. Then type it in your calculator. 30 cosine 54. You should get 17.63, and we can label that meters. Okay, pause the video, try number 12. Here's your angle. X is opposite of the angle. 12 is hypotenuse. Think of SOHCAHTOA. Pick the one with the O and the H. Here it is. So you're going to use SO, which the S stands for sine. So sine 35 equals opposite over hypotenuse, x over 12. Remember that O goes in the top, the H goes on the bottom. Multiply both sides by 12. And then you're going to type it into your calculator. 12 sine 35. 6.88, and we can label it inches. Okay, last one, number 13. Some of you are probably roller coaster lovers. I like a good roller coaster. I'm not into spinning, no spinning rides, please, but roller coasters, okay. The angle of ascent of the first hill of a roller coaster is 55 degrees. That means this angle right here is 55. If the length of the track from the beginning of the ascent to the highest point is 98 feet, so this side right here is 98 feet, what is the height of the roller coaster when it reaches the top of the first hill? Basically, we want to know this. I'll put an X there. Okay, so use your trig. Go ahead and pause the video and try to set this one up. See if you can do it. So the X is opposite. The 98 is hypotenuse. Think of SOHCAHTOA. You want the O and the H. They go with SO. S stands for sine. Follow it with the 55. And then it's opposite over hypotenuse. X over 98 times 98. These cancel. Grab your calculator. 98 sine 55 is 80.28 if we round it. And it's feet. And that would be the height right here of that roller coaster. All right, so we're going to have you guys try some of these now. Will you please try Unit 6, Practice 4? If you get stuck, let us know, and have a great day.